Oh, beautiful souls, and welcome to this episode of Holistic Healing with Lorrie. I'm Lorrie Rivers, your host and the creator of the Heal Advanced Recovery Program and the Heal Starter Program and the annual Long COVID and MECFS Holistic Healing Summit. Now, today we are going to be doing a very special episode. It's very apropos for what's happening in the world, in the US actually today, and that is elections. So I wanted to give you some support, some nervous system support, some emotional support for whatever it is, whichever side you're on, or however you're feeling about this particular election. I wanted to give you some support here. We're going to be doing some EFT tapping on this. This is also great for really anything where you're concerned about the outcome, or if you're concerned about the health of the world, if you're feeling anxious about things that are happening in the world, or even if you're feeling anxious about things that are happening in your body. So let's do some EFT tapping together. Now, if you are not familiar with EFT tapping, it's very simple. You're going to follow along with me. I'm going to show you the points to tap on, and you're going to repeat what I say out loud. If you want to change the phrasing, that's totally fine. And again, even if you're working on something that's different, that's not specifically the election, it's actually still going to help you out, right? We have this wonderful thing called borrowed benefits. That is going to mean that your nervous system is still going to calm down. You're still most probably going to feel better. So before we get started, what I love to do is to write down what your main emotion is, in this case about the election, and rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 is the most negatively intense. And then as well, if you have any beliefs, an example of a belief here would be, if my person doesn't win, it's not okay. Rate that as well from a 0 to 10 to a 10. So you can pause it right here. If you're listening to the audio version of this, if you're not familiar with EFT tapping, you might want to just go in and watch the video version of this particular podcast. All right, so we're going to start by tapping on the side of the hand, the outer side of the hand. And you're just going to tap and repeat after me. Even though I'm so worried about the elections, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Still tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I'm really worried about the outcome of the elections and that it's going to make the US fall apart, and maybe even the world is going to fall apart, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm really angry about politics today and about the election, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All right, and we're going to start on the inner eyebrow. You can use your dominant hand. If you don't have the use of your hands, or if you're feeling particularly fatigued today, you can just actually watch or imagine that you're tapping on these points. It works just as well. So inner eyebrow, repeating after me. I'm so worried about the elections. Outer eye, and it's right on the edge of the bone of the eye there. I don't want that person to win. Under the eye, again on the bone, because if they do win, everything's going to fall apart. Under the nose, and really bad things are going to happen. Under the mouth, my person has to win. Collarbone, and this one is just underneath the knobby point and over towards the outer side just a little bit. My person has to win. Under the arm, and this is right about where your bra strap would be if you wore one, or if you do wear one. It's not okay if the other person wins. Top of the head. I won't be okay if the other person wins. Inner eyebrow. The world won't be okay if the other person wins. Outer eye. The US won't be okay if the other person wins. Under the eye. The other side is just wrong. Under the nose, and it makes me really angry. Under the mouth, all this anger. Collarbone, all this fear. Under the arm, all this anger. Top of the head, all this fear. Inner eyebrow, I'm terrified about what the outcome is going to be. Outer eye, it could mean the end of the world. Under the eye, it could mean that really bad things are going to happen. Under the nose, I don't have any control over it, and that's scary. Under the mouth, I don't have any control over the outcome. Collarbone, and I'm not going to be okay if it doesn't work out the way I want it to. Under the arm, but maybe I do have some control over how I feel about it. Top of the head, it doesn't feel like it right now because it's super scary. Inner eyebrow, but I wonder if I could move towards maybe being okay. Outer eye, with whatever the outcome is. Under the eye, I won't be okay with the other person winning. Under the nose, I will be okay with the other person winning. Under the mouth, I'm not okay with the possibility of the other person winning. Collarbone, I am okay with the possibility of the other person winning. Under the arm, if the other person wins, it's definitely not okay. Top of the head, but that doesn't feel good, and I don't have any control over it. Inner eyebrow, I can do my part and vote. Outer eye, but ultimately, I don't have control over the outcome. Under the eye, but I can allow myself to tune into the well-being. Under the nose, that is in the universe. Under the mouth, and I can allow myself to tune into the well-being. Collarbone, that is within me. Under the arm, I can allow myself to look at the stars at night. Top of the head, and to feel the peace and joy of that. Inner eyebrows, I can allow myself to enjoy things about my life. Outer eye, I can tune into nature and all the animals and the trees and the leaves. Under the eye, and to tune into all of that being. Under the nose, and to know that's not going to change no matter what happens. Under the mouth, I think I might be able to allow myself collarbone to be a little more okay regardless of the outcome. Under the arm, because also me being super upset is not going to help anyone. Top of the head, it's not going to change anything. Inner eyebrow. I know that I am more helpful and more of a positive force when I am feeling good. Outer eye, or even just when I'm feeling okay. My earring just fell off. I'm going to leave it off. Under the eye, I wonder if I can feel safe in all of this. Under the nose, I can allow myself to feel safe in all of this. Under the mouth, it's harder for me to have a positive effect on the people around me. Collarbone, and it's harder for me to have a positive effect on the world as a whole. Under the arm, when I'm holding on to needing a particular outcome. Top of the head, and it also just doesn't feel good. Inner eyebrow, so I'm choosing right now to do my tapping and to ease myself. Outer eye, to allow myself to be a force of good and soothing in the world. Under the eye, I'm choosing to allow whatever happens to be okay. Under the nose, and to know that being is what exists in this world. Under the mouth, and I like thinking about the fact that a lot of times before really good change, collarbone, there's a lot of upheaval. Under the arm, and I know that regardless of who wins the election, that I can be okay. Top of the head, I can allow myself to be at peace and to still find joy. Still top of the head. In my life, unconditionally, and that feels good. And release. And how are you feeling now? Take a few moments to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, and just tune into what's happening in your body right now. Are you feeling more present? Are you feeling more grounded? I know I am. And go ahead and take a look at your rating too. You rated it before we started on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 is the most negatively intense. Rate whatever emotion you wrote down and whatever thought or belief you wrote down as well. Re-rate those. And for most people, you will have gone down, even if it's just 1 point, even if it's just a half a point. That's great. That is a win. Now, if it went up, if you're feeling more stirred up, then typically what that means is that you have gotten really good at pushing your emotions down. Ding, ding. I used to be that. I used to do that many years ago. So that's actually a really good thing too, because that's giving you a great indication that you have been pushing your emotions down and that it's time to start very gently allowing yourself to start feeling them, because that's very important. When we push our emotions away, when we push them down, we actually can make ourselves sick by doing that, right? So that's one of the things that we explore in the Heal program, along with our tapping on all sorts of things. But also, we explore emotional intelligence and becoming friends with your emotions, with all kinds of emotions, right? So let me know in the comments how this went for you, where you were in the beginning and where you are now. And can't wait to see you in the next Holistic Healing with Lorrie podcast. Please do share this with anybody that you think might benefit from it. I think that everybody in the US right now could benefit from it, will benefit from it, and really, again, anybody in the world, actually. All right, lots of love. I'll see you next time.